Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's an easy side dish that looks fancy enough to serve to your holiday guests. Here to share another popular recipe, we welcome back the author of the brand new cookbook, Food with Feeling, and the founder of the blog with the same name, Brita Britnell. Good to see you.
Thank you. It's always great to be here.
Your book is out now.
Yes, finally.
You must be so thrilled.
I am very thrilled. I worked really hard on it. I decided to self-publish, which has been such an adventure, but I'm really glad that I did because I've had full creative control, and it's just been like, it's very much feels like my baby. So it's
that's
nice
awesome.
to see it out in the world.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, now you have an idea with potatoes.
Yes.
Tell me what this is.
These are called accordion potatoes, and they look a little bit daunting at first. You have to master the cutting of the potato, which honestly just takes a few potatoes. I always tell people, if you're going to make this recipe...
Oh, you go through a few potatoes trying it out.
Get a couple extra potatoes to try it out.
Okay.
Because there's like a cutting technique that really isn't too complicated, but it is nice to test it out a few times first.
All right.
So should I show it to you?
Yeah.
So I love Yukon Gold potatoes, but you could actually do this with any potatoes. Sometimes I peel them. I don't mind the skin. I kind of like it. But if you want to peel them, you can. So
before you get started, can you show us how they're accordion?
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab this one.
Okay.
I mean, they're accordion. I like pull them apart a little bit. My daughter thought these were really fun, but you slice them one way, and then they kind of just like accordion this way.
That's cute.
And part of why this is really fun is because personally, I love the crispy edges of French fries.
Yes.
And this is like an entire crispy French fry because you've got all these cuts and grooves.
Yeah.
It gets crispy everywhere, and I love that.
Yeah.
Like, I love the crispy potato bits and everything. So that's why that's part of why I love these.
Gotcha.
On top of just them being beautiful and fun.
Gotcha.
So to make them, we're gonna cut our potato. I just like cut it here, and then we're gonna cut it about a third of an inch thick.
Okay.
So you've got a piece of potato, and then we just cut this into kind of like a rough square. It doesn't really totally matter. Square, rectangle.
Okay.
So then you have this.
Okay.
So what I do is I use chopsticks to do the cutting, and these make it so that if you slice down, the blade stops at the chopstick, and you don't accidentally cut all the way through.
Okay.
So I will show you.
So you have to see what you're talking about.
So I put the chopsticks on either side of the potato.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha.
So this you don't have to use this, and you could use another utensil, but this makes it so you don't accidentally cut all the way through.
Right.
Because if you do cut all the way through, then
defeats the whole purpose.
Yes. So for this one, on this side, you just go all the way through, and again, you can just slice down because you've got that chopstick there, and you just do it all the way across.
And move it along so you have the same
depth. And I've kind of gotten pretty good at this that I can do it and feel out the potato. So you're going to slice across on that side. So then you get this. You can kind of see it. And the nice thing about these grooves is all of the flavor is going to get down in there.
Oh, good point.
So we flip it over. And then on this side, we're going to cut diagonally. Doing the same thing, just stopping at that chopstick. You really only need one for this side.
Okay.
And just cutting all the way across. Kind of not using the chopstick because I've done this quite a bit.
Right.
But you just cut it all the way across. And then that's it. So now on this side, you've got this, and then on this side, you've got this. And when they bake, you can really pull apart nicely, which is really neat.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are really fun.
Okay.
So that's it for the potatoes. It's really simple. I always suggest get a couple extra potatoes to practice it, because I feel like that took me a minute.
Okay.
Then we're going to put a really yummy butter mixture on top of it. You could use just olive oil or just butter, but I like the mixture, so we're going to use olive oil, about a tablespoon of butter, a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay. Some garlic, of course.
Oh, yeah.
As much or as little as you like. You could also just do garlic powder if that's easier for you.
Sure.
Some fresh rosemary. I've made these with Italian seasoning or just kind of whatever you would like.
Yeah.
You can flavor them what suits you. Some salt, just a little bit of salt. And then I'm doing some oregano and paprika, but just a little bit. And I like the paprika largely because it darkens them. It gives them this nice,
really
I see why
how they have that. Yeah.
So that's really it. Once you've got your potatoes cut, I like to just put them right on my baking sheet. I just have the one for now. And then I have a pastry brush, but you could just drizzle this on top. You just take some of that seasoning. I like to try and make sure I get lots of the herbs and the garlic, and you brush it on top. And then I flip them over, and I brush the other side as well. Yeah. And if you've got the time, I like to try and spread it apart a little bit and make sure that butter and seasoning gets all inside of those grooves. Yeah. And then that's it. So I like to get lots on there. You bake these for about 20 minutes, and after 20 minutes, I flip them over and I put a lot more of the butter on. Because there's always a little extra, because I like them very buttery, very crispy. This is not necessarily healthy. It's kind of decadent and indulgent, but I love these for serving at like holidays because they're just fun.
And I would say too,
I love that crispy edge.
It'd be a great appetizer, right?
Yeah, it really would. You could put these on like little skewers and pull them apart, which would be really fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. I know, sometimes I feel weird just like touching all the food, but these are just like really fun. It's so good.
Brita, that's great.
Isn't it amazing? I like the crispy edges is my favorite. Like I could just eat all of it.
Oh wow, and pulling it apart, that's fun.
Isn't it fun? It's really fun. And again, the cutting, I feel like some people are daunted by that, but just like get a couple extra potatoes and practice. It's pretty simple, but you gotta practice it a little bit.
Yeah, tell me more about your book and the recipes. Like what will we find? What kind of recipes?
So the cookbook is all vegetarian. It's really mostly vegan, but there are a few recipes in there that aren't vegan. But the few ones that aren't, I have substitutions, or it's like a risotto with cheese and you could just use a vegan cheese. So I always like to tell people that.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's all vegetarian recipes, and a lot of these are recipes that I've made for years. I wanted to start, I kind of imagined my grandmother's recipe book and how you have all of your recipes in this like kind of like tried and true recipes.
Right.
That's what this is. These are my tried and true recipes. I wanted to start with ones that people have loved. A lot of these recipes, I've posted them online, I've gotten millions and millions of views and like hundreds of ratings, and I really love that because these are like some of my best recipes.
Is it daughter approved?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, actually, she's in it, and she spent about 30 minutes last night signing a bunch of the books. She was insistent on signing them.
Love it. I love it. So we're going to put on our website the recipe, but also tell people where they can find Food with Feeling at any bookstore, right?
It's just online right now. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, thank you so
thank you
much.
for having
I love
me.
these. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away. Great.